Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture. Let's bring on the host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs and the host of Vegas Rock Dog Radio. On today's show, I'm talking about the hamster wheel of social media and canine arthritis. So stay right there.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Sam, also known as the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs, and this is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. We are a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. I've got a good show lined up for you today with lots of information. And let me tell you who's in studio with me today. I have Mr. Jim.
Hello. It's only a good show or a great show?
It's always a great show.
Just checking, because that's what they're expecting.
Is that a poem? Right, so.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't
Who else is in studio with us today, Jim?
Monkey 1, Monkey 2.
We do call our dogs monkeys, and then people get shocked, and they say, you have monkeys? And I said, no. We just call our dogs monkeys. So we've got Mr. Twix, and we've got Miss Thornton in studio. And we've got Miss Galaxy looking down on us from the Rainbow Bridge. And she is with our other niece dog and nephew dog, Harry, and Princess Madonna. So that's who we have in studio today. And as I say, I've got a couple of really great topics here and some good news, some really great news that I think you will be happy to hear about. But before we do that, if you're new to the show, welcome. And if you are one of our regulars, yay, we're so glad you're here once again. Now, if you'd like to connect with us on social media, we are going to talk a little bit about that shortly. You can, of course, find everything you need to know about the show at vegasrockdogradio.com. And we will pop up which is a little bit of a pun on Periscope once in a while. Facebook, of course, Twitter, hybrid words here, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram, and of course we have a blog, and our blog is therockandrolldog.com. And if you don't catch the live show, you can always catch up on iTunes, on iHeartRadio, and Spoke by Sirius XM. On iTunes, you will find we have two shows. And we have our regular show, this one, and we also have Pet Tip of the Day. Just a 30-second blurb with a great tip so that you can be the best pet parent you can possibly be. For example, this is one of my favorites. If you are bathing your pets and you like to pop them in the bath, you can throw in a yoga mat in the bottom of the bath. It will give them some traction and it will stop your bath from being scratched. So that's the kind of tips that we like to offer over on Pet Tip of the Day on iTunes. It's a good tip. And here's another little tip. If you've got pets that don't like to get in the bath, it's not their favorite thing, you can slather some peanut butter on the side of the bath and they'll lick it while you bathe them. And it works. And, since then, someone else has picked up on the idea of a rubber thing that sticks to the wall, and then you can put the peanut butter, or I guess you could put some coconut oil on there, whatever they like on there, just to keep them distracted and make it feel like a positive experience. On the other hand, we don't actually bathe our dogs. We actually take them in the shower with us. It's so much easier and a lot less mess. So if you've got a dog that will do that, it's a wonderful thing because all the mess stays in the shower. It's great. And you don't wreck your back bending over into the bathtub because that's a bit rough on the old back there. So that's an example of one of the tips that we like to give out. And here's something that I've been up to the last couple of days. We've got a little friend. Her name's Danny, and she had a crushed pelvis. She came into a rescue. She got a crushed pelvis and was not doing well a couple of days ago. And as it happens, she had pyometra and had to go in for a surgery because it's life-threatening. Now, she's an older dog, a much older dog, so they were not going to fix her. Spay for girls, neuter for girls, spay for girls, spay for girls. Why am I getting confused?
Why do you forget that?
I don't know.
All this time.
I know for all these years because of her age. But when you've got pyometra, which is, if I want to be correct in this, I want to say it's an infection of the uterus.
That's correct.
Then you have to take care of it, and it's worrying because they're older, and there's nothing more scary than putting your older pets under surgery. But when it is life threatening and it's absolutely necessary, it has to happen. Well, anyway, she wasn't eating, and I said to her mum, "I'll make you some bone broth for her." And I can guarantee you she'll eat that, and it'll be easy to get down because it's a liquid. And so that's what I did. And so for a good 24 hours, which I prefer to go a little bit longer, but I didn't really have the luxury of time, I made some chicken bone broth. And I'm just going to give you a quick idea of how it works. And that is you take an organic chicken, uncooked, of course, and you put it in your crock pot and you cover it with filtered water. And you let that heat up. And in a couple of hours, the skin comes off incredibly easy, and then you remove that, throw that away. Do not feed that to your dogs. Get rid of that, and then you can take off the meat that's cooked, put that in the fridge, and that can go to your dogs later. And then one thing I have missed out, you need your apple cider vinegar in there. About 2 or 3 tablespoons goes in that water, and you just stir it around and keep letting it heat and break everything down. And after about 24 hours, it's almost disappeared. It's almost pulverized. It's amazing. Then what you'll do is you'll strain it and make sure there's nothing in there. Strain it and then cool it. And if you cool it in the fridge and you might get a thick layer of fat on the top that'll go hard. Remove that. And then you decanter it. I love that word. You decanter it into mason jars, or you can freeze it. You can freeze it as ice cubes, and that will keep in the fridge for about 7 to 10 days in just your normal fridge. And what you would do is you would feed, say about an eighth of a cup for a teeny tiny dog, and quarter of a small, half a medium, full cup for a large dog. But with anything you introduce new into any of your pets' diets, you would just do it gradually and slowly. So you wouldn't do the full amount straight away. It's not something you would do every single day. It's a couple of times a week. It's full of nutrients. It's really packed, and it's great for pets who don't have much of an appetite and coming out of those surgeries. Well, they just don't feel very good after surgery. So that's what I did, and
Can you use it like a gravy on top of other foods?
Some people do that. Some people will actually pour it onto a kibble. If they are not in a position to feed a better food than the kibble, they'll actually make something like that and pour that on the top. And it's very beneficial. Also, I made her some golden paste, which is your turmeric, your black pepper, fresh black pepper, and your coconut oil. And there's a specific way in which you make that too. And what I'll do is I'll put that recipe, I'll put both the recipes up on Facebook and on Instagram, so you'll have that at hand. Anyway, so I met her yesterday. It was like a little care package, wasn't it, Jim? And I had a ton of treats to give to their rescue, and a couple of cute dresses and a little tuxedo. It was like Christmas all over again. But
how is it, Danny doing today?
She loved the bone broth. She loved the bone broth. I don't know a single dog that I recommended that for who's not loved it. And I recommended it to a friend back in England who had the same issue. Like, oh my gosh, she's not eating until they eat. They won't let them come home. And she's a vegan. So you can imagine how difficult that was for her. But she said, I'm doing it. And she did. And she loved it. So there you go. Right. So weekly update. Here's a little update. Well, actually, I said today's update. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there are things called frames in Facebook.
Oh, I don't know that.
I use them when I go live and stuff. There's some fun things on my personal page, that is. But frames are a great way to actually market your pet business or your rescue. And what you do is you go into the Facebook frames editor, actually as an editor. And what you do is you create a frame, and basically the majority of it is left transparent. And once you design your frame, the one I've done today says, I've forgotten because I've just done it. I put my logo up there and some paw prints, and it says, my pet is the love of my life. And so once you create that, and then you've got a transparent background, once you actually upload it, it says, try it. There's a try it button. So when you click that, and this is on your phones, by the way, when you click that, it opens up your camera. So you can take a photo or a video with the frame.
So it's like a theme. Like a PowerPoint theme.
No, it's not a PowerPoint.
Like
it's
frame. It's like putting your little watermark on your video.
Well, it's not a watermark. No, it's an actual design. It's great though for marketing. It's great for getting donations in. It's great for, say, you've got a special event coming up, and you want people to be able to take a picture with the frame of your event. It's a great marketing tool, great for any pet business, and great for any rescue. And I've created a couple actually for the Southern Nevada Beagle Rescue today to help them along. And then I said to them, I said, make me an admin, and then I can create this for you and upload it. But then I need to make sure they take me off as an admin because they get a lot of notifications. These notifications make you crazy. There's so many. I've tried to limit them as much as I possibly can, but I am managing a lot of social media platforms. So yeah, it's hard. It's really, really hard. But anyway, that's called your Facebook frames. Really, really, really easy. If you manage a lot of pages like I do, you can actually select the page of which that frame is going to go to. So you don't have to log in, log out, and all that messing around.
You love your technology.
I do, but I think you have to make it work for you, which is one of the things I want to talk about just very briefly. And that is this term was this phrase was coined by Sean Cannell, which I hope I'm pronouncing his last name, whose training workshop will be in. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's coming up.
For YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things he did mention in one of his videos, and he's an influencer, that's what he is. He's an influencer in the social media place, in marketing, but particularly in YouTube. He said, are you on the hamster wheel of social media? And what he meant by that was, are you just churning things out without each piece that you churn out having one value and meaning and an action associated to it? Or are you just banging out a bunch of cute pictures, which is great, and we all love that. But how is that building your brand? How is that attracting more donors to, say, your rescue? How is that working if there's no link, if there's no call to action, and if it's not carefully thought through? I mean, I see it all day. People just banging out stuff all day, every day, on every platform.
And again, 1,000 miles an hour.
1,000 miles an hour. Oh, what was that from, Jim?
Stevie Ricks.
Stevie Ricks. Faster. Going 1,000 miles an hour. Yes. And what are the results? What results are you getting from posting 55,000 cute pictures a day? You can still post them, but they have to be posted with some kind of intent and an action and something that's going to build your brand. And when I say build your brand, that also means for rescues, look at it like a business, build the brand of your rescue or your organization or your pet product. And I felt like that, well, quite some time ago. So I started to scale back on things and started to put out pieces that were of not just value, but also a call to action. And that's how you build your brand. And I think, for example, Jim, and I know a lot of people don't know this, but if you were to say, if I was to say to you, what does your brand stand for?
Oh, yeah, that's hard. You have to almost like have your mission statement. Like,
yeah.
Or your...
And you could pull up 3 words, for example, and say, this is what my brand stands for. And it could be, like for me, it's information is a big thing, yeah? Helping pet parents in any which way possible. And, of course, I raise a lot of money as well. So it would be, you know, I guess charity, information, like a resource. And I think once you determine those, it's so much easier to put the right pieces out that you're meeting that mission of your brand. Anyway.
Well, our radio show is 3 words, simple words.
Pets, people, pop culture. That's exactly what the radio...
That's really 4 words, 3 things.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. But I think it is important that you start with that. What do you stand for? It could be cute dogs, dog fashion, and something else. And then it becomes way more cohesive. And you do always need to have a plan. You need a plan. Don't wake up in the morning and go, what am I going to put out today? You should sit down and do an editorial calendar of everything you're going to do in the year. There are certain things that happen every single year in our industry that we know, that's going to happen in June. That will happen in August. So we know they're staples and they're going to happen every single year. And then you fill in with your content. And I think that's another important thing, is create your own content.
Yes.
If you're sharing content that you think, I already know this, so why am I not putting that out there, that content? Think about that. Anyway, so I liked that phrase. I thought it was a great way to describe it, the hamster wheel of social media. So you actually just need to get off it and get a plan. And you won't be spending so much time a little bit aimlessly when you think about it. And here's another thing to think about with brands as well. And some people do this brilliantly on Instagram. They choose their brand's colors, and they're the colors that they always incorporate into every image, every video, whether it's their text is this color or a specific type of text. And there's some brands that do it in such an amazing way that, I would do, look at your favorite accounts on Instagram, go, why do I really like them? Oh, okay. Because there's a cohesiveness with, say, their colors or their fonts or their tagline that they always use, or a hashtag.
They have a frame, a theme.
They have a frame on Facebook, which would make the same in those colors. Yeah. So anyway, think about that. Think about how you're using your time to benefit your pet business, and how you're using your time to benefit your rescues, and how are you building that brand to make an impact that actually grows what you're doing, brings income in, brings donations in, that kind of thing. So there you go. That was one of the things I wanted to, mention today. Let's talk about this. Now, this is a great piece of news, Jim. A really great piece of news. Animals have equal rights as humans, says the Uttarakhand High Court.
Who are they?
I'm going to tell you who they are.
You always come up with funny words to talk about.
I do. I'm not scared to try a new word or pronounce a drug or a weird medical term. Uttarakhand High Court on Wednesday, while hearing a petition filed for the protection and welfare of animals, declared all members of the animal kingdom, including birds and aquatic life, have similar rights as humans, and ordained animals throughout the state should be treated as legal entities having a distinct persona with corresponding rights, duties, and liabilities of a living person. And the division bench of justices Rajiv Sharma and Lokpal Singh further named citizens throughout the Uttarakhand persons in loco parentis as the human face for the welfare protection of animals. This is in India, by the way. And the court directed the state government to constitute societies for prevention of cruelty to animals in each district and to appoint infirmaries for the treatment and care of animals. So the High Court, and I'm going to say HC because that's going to be all the way through this article, in its 57-page order, banned the use of spike, stick, or bit, harness, or yoke with spikes, knobs, or projections, or any other sharp tackle or equipment throughout the state to avoid bruises, swelling, abrasions, or severe pain to animals. Is this not the most incredible news?
Sounds like they had some bad practices culturally going on if they're using those kinds of things.
And I think that's something you have to think about when it comes to animal welfare. It doesn't matter what your culture is. It doesn't mean it's right because they've done it culturally for centuries. It doesn't mean it's right. So this is a an incredible piece of news. Well, the court directed the state government to enforce the provisions of the Prevention and Control of Infectious and Contagious Diseases in Animals, the Animal Act in 2009, to prevent the animals from infectious and contagious diseases, and to appoint veterinary officers as per Section 3 of the Prevention and Control of Infectious and Contagious Diseases, Animal Act 2009. I don't need to say that again. The judges cited in their order several articles as well as books, like the Isha Upanishad, which they said dwell on the principle of equality of all species. They also cited a Supreme Court judgment which had held that an animal too has honor and dignity which it cannot be arbitrarily deprived of, and its rights and privacy have to be respected and protected from unlawful attacks. So notably, the Uttarakhand High Court had in March last year in a similar order declared the rivers Ganga and Yamuna as legal entities, but the order was stayed by the Supreme Court 3 months later. Now, the High Court ordered on Wednesday, when it came through, came while hearing a public interest litigation filed by Narayan Bhatt, a resident of Bambasa in Champawat district. Shut up! Near the Indian-Nepal border. I did really well. I did so well on that. I didn't have time to practice it, but I did well. I think I got a good grasp of that. Never mind you. I dare you to even read that.
I'm not saying it.
He always laughs, but he never has to pronounce anything. The petitioner had sought to restrict the movement of horse carts, tongas between Nepal and India, stating cruelty on horses and mules used in the carts, and it is a very cruel practice, I have to say. The court ordered the Nagar Panchayat Bambasa to regulate the You're getting on my nerves. To regulate the Stop it! To regulate the plying of horse carts, tongas from Bambasa to Nepal by issuing licenses to the owners by charging reasonable fees within 1 month, and to ensure the medical examination of these animals. The court further directed the state government to ensure that no person in charge of any vehicle drawn by any animal allows more than 4 persons, excluding the driver and children below 6 years, to ride the vehicle, and to ensure that in any area where the temperature exceeds 37 degrees during the period between 11 and 4 in summers, and when the temperature is below 5 degrees between 5 and 7 a.m. and between 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in winter, no animal is used for the purpose of drawing vehicles, period. All the municipal bodies shall issue certificates of unladen weight of vehicles to avoid cruelty to animals, the judge said. It's mind-blowing to me. This is just wonderful. The court stated that since the carts driven by animals have no mechanical devices, they should be given the right of way, and all the police officers throughout the state should ensure compliance of this rule. All the municipal bodies throughout the state are directed to provide shelter of suitable sizes for horses, bullocks, and camels driving vehicles. In further directions, the division bench directed the Vice-Chancellor of the GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pant Nagar, to constitute a committee presided by the head of the Department of Veterinary Sciences and two senior-most professors to undertake research to find out within 12 weeks whether the maximum weight prescribed under law in prevention of cruelty to drought and pack animal rules, and that was 1965, whether it's reasonable or not. So they're revisiting that. 1965, people. The bench I can guarantee you it's not. The bench, taking note of other inconveniences caused to the animals, also ordered that no animals shall be transported on foot beyond the period specified in Rule 12 of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Transport of Animals on Foot Rules 2001. Animals should be provided water every 2 hours and food in every 4 hours.
It's pretty good rules.
So it's an incredible piece of news. Incredible piece of news. You know what? Leading the way. People need to follow. People need to follow. On that note, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about What do we want to talk about?
I don't know. I've got a boy distracting me right
I'll tell you
now.
what we're going to do. We're going to talk about canine arthritis management. We're not going to go super in depth, but I found a fantastic resource that I think you're going to really like. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs.
Okay, Mr. Twix, I need my hands back.
We're going
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Pet Scene Magazine is dedicated to Las Vegas pets and the people who love them. It's a source of news and information for pet lovers, as well as offering valuable coupons and specials on pet products and services. Find them online at www.lvpetscene.com or look for them on Facebook.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Did that play a full commercial? Was that weird?
That was the full commercial.
That just seems so fast.
Yeah. Well, compared to the big words you just scored.
Well, yeah, there you go. Just that one sentence took longer than a whole commercial to pronounce. I found this great resource, and if you're just listening in, just tuning in, you're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, and I'm Sam. I'm your host, and this I thought was a wonderful resource. We will do a show, preferably with the Canine Arthritis Management Group in the UK. That's all they do. This is their arena. And they had this great resource that I was just so impressed with. And it's called the Home Assessment Checklist. Now, their website is the Canine Arthritis. It's caninearthritis.co.uk. And you'll click on resources and you'll be able to find this. And there are plenty of them. But this I was so impressed with. But this is what you would call a home assessment checklist. Here we go. Just wanted to run through some of this. I thought it was a very good resource and could be very helpful to people. And what you do is you will download this. I'm not sure if you can actually just do this online. I'm not quite sure. It is online, of course, but I don't know if it's something you need to download in order to fill it out. Here we go. So they ask all of these questions, and you are going to tick either yes or no. And the first question is, are floor surfaces to which the dog has access inside the home non-slip? Slippery floor surfaces include tiles, wood, and laminate, and the areas where the dog has regular access is what they're asking you. Considerations must be given if some floor surfaces may be wet on a regular basis. We don't have to worry too much about that, certainly in Vegas, because we're dry. We're very, very dry. But back home, like say in England or, in wetter areas, yeah, people are walking their dogs in the rain, they come back, and those surfaces can be so dangerous. So basically, if you say no, they're not non-slip, this is what they tell you to consider. And this is what I really like. They say consider placement of rugs along routes used by the dog, place mats at doorways, thresholds, and adjacent to their bed, limit access to problem areas if possible, use well-fitting dog boots or anti-slip coatings, and keep foot fur trimmed and nails short. I'm going to add one more thing onto it, and they're probably not even aware that this product even exists. So I won't, you know me, I'll contact them and say, hey, have you heard of this product? Maybe you should add that to your list, which is Toe Grips by Dr. Busby.
Excellent product.
Excellent product. And
Fantastic.
I just sent a set out to our friend Lynn. Her little dog Tulip had to have one leg amputated. And she's got tile too. She's like us, tile and hardwood floors, and it is slippy, and they lose their confidence when they can't get up as well, and you don't want them to further injure themselves. So I'll probably contact them about that. I think they'd be thrilled to find out about it. So that's the first question. The second one is, can your dog easily go up and down stairs and steps to which they have access inside and outside the house? So steps include sets of steps, single steps, both in and outside of the home. They may be too high, too narrow. Gosh, I never thought about the narrow bit when you've got a big dog. Too steep, if you've got a little dog, slippery, or just way too many stairs. Easily means without hesitation, loss of balance, pausing or increased effort or speed to try and get up them, yeah? And if you say no, here's the consideration you need to make. You use a stair gate to restrict access to the stairs. Ramps may be suitable for some steps. Carrying your dog up and down if safe to do so. carpeting bare steps or using anti-slip tape, and use of stable harness or a sling to assist the dog with balance and control. So that's another good suggestion. Here's the third one. Are all thresholds easy to step over? I never even thought about this. Thresholds are entrances and exits to the property and between rooms. They may be combined with steps. Easy means without hesitation, loss of balance, pausing, or increased effort or speed. Use a threshold ramp. I think you see that more in older homes, don't you, sometimes, where you step down from one room and it goes
like
down.
Landings.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So you could use use of a threshold ramp, reduce the height of the step, use rubber mats either side of the threshold, and use an alternative door. So that was the suggestion there. Next one, are walkways clear of clutter and free from tight turns? Cluttered walkways and tight turns require the dog to alter their posture to negotiate round them. This can unbalance them, leading to slips, trips, or falls. Walkways tend to lead to exits and entrances, which may be an area where excitable behavior are exhibited, and thus an increased opportunity to lose balance and slip, trip, or fall. Never thought about that either. And if you say, oh, no, I'm not in that position where I'm free of that, they say use a threshold ramp, clear passageways to provide a straight path for the dog to move along. Observe your dog moving and ensure that it has a wide enough turning circle, and provide non-slip mats as strategic exits, entrances, and doorways. Number 5. Can your dog get in and out of their padded dog bed easily without any help? Can your dog negotiate the edge of their bed with ease? Does the dog find a comfortable position quickly? Does the dog slip on the floor as it climbs in or out? If it's a no, positioning. Ensure your dog has room to maneuver when getting in and out of the bed. Use a larger bed to allow more space for the dog to position themselves. Use a custom cut memory foam mattress on the floor instead of a basket. Basket's a big thing in England. Dog baskets.
What's it, like a wicker basket?
Yeah, some of them are wicker, yes. Well, actually, a lot of them are wicker, where they get kind of a little wall, little step up to get in it, You don't see them here that often. What was the other thing? Chamfering the edges of a foam mattress to reduce the height of the step. That's a really good tip. Using die-chem, I'm not sure about that, or non-slip tape, so it must be similar, under the bed to prevent it from moving. Gosh, never thought about these, and they've thought of everything because, of course, they are the canine arthritis people. And also non-slip mats outside the basket to prevent slips getting in or out. Great tips. Can the dog change their position or move in their bed without difficulty? Beds may be too soft, have an uneven and unpredictable surface, be too slippery, or have covers that are loose, which all can lead to trips, slips, twists, or falls. And if it's a no, using a foam or memory foam mattress is a suggestion, ensuring that the bed is large enough for the dog to move in. Cutting a foam mattress to have a bed made to fit to fit a suitable space. Using a duvet cover to enclose loose blankets and tucking it over the edge of the mattress, and using die-cam under blankets to prevent them from slipping. Next one. If this is their usual practice, is your dog able to get on and off the sofa? With ease means without hesitation, no sign of effort. The sofa may be too high. The sofa could be slippery. The floor surfaces in front of the sofa may be too slippery for sufficient grip, getting on and off. And adding height into negotiating an obstacle can lead to more serious slips and falls.
So what do you do when your 12-year-old Jack Russell Terrier can leap up onto the back of the sofa?
She's amazing.
Can leap right up over the back of the sofa.
She can. She's amazing. She's amazing. But she doesn't have arthritis either. But she is amazing, I have to say. Everybody jumps in this house. Everybody jumps and climbs. This is what you would consider: restricting access to the sofa and providing a more accessible alternative, reducing the height of the seat by removing a base cushion or removing casters off the bottom of your sofa, provide a ramp or portable doggy steps, which is quite common, lifting the dog on and off the sofa if safe for yourself to do so, ensuring that there's a non-slip cover in front of the sofa, and covering slippery cushions with a less slippery, secure alternative. Very detailed. I love this. If this is their usual practice, is the dog able to get on and off their own owner's bed safely. Wow, people buy beds now that are just like Princess and the Pea. They're so tall. I'd have a hard time getting on some of those
4
beds.
4 feet off the ground. What if you fell out of bed if you're dreaming?
I'm 4 foot tall. I'd never get in the bed to fall off the
Crack
bed.
your head, falling out of bed.
It's true, though. I've always liked low furniture, though, I have to tell you. I was complaining this week because even my kitchen counters are too high. It bothers my neck to do things in the kitchen because
you need to get a little person built.
I need a little step because it bothers my neck having to lift my arms so high to do everything on the counters.
You could just strap blocks onto your feet.
Maybe.
There you go. Walk around on blocks.
Some stilts. I guess some stilts. So the bed may be too high. This is, the mattress too soft, and the bedding may impede the mobility of the dog on the bed.
Like Goldilocks.
No. Or the floor. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. Or the floor surfaces surrounding the bed may be slippery. Safely means no increased effort, no hesitation, no uncontrolled descent, no jarring movements. That is not encouraged if the dog is at risk of falling off the bed. And these are your considerations. Use a lower bed or mattress on the floor. Yes. Use a dog ramp or portable doggy steps. Lifting your dog on and off the bed if safe for the owner to do so. Is the dog safe from falling off the bed? I think all of our dogs at some point have fallen off the bed, even though our bed's not high.
Yeah, because they're dreaming or they roll onto their back.
And they're like, oh, hello, I just fell on the floor. But we do have a very, very low bed. The dog may sleep near to the edge of the bed and fall off. If they roll over, the dog may lose their footing getting on and off the bed, and the dog may have fallen off the bed in the past. So what you would consider is positioning the bed against the wall, using a footboard, use of a child cot side once the dog is on the bed, and positioning the mattress on the floor. So there you go. That's another option. Can your dog comfortably stand at their bowl to eat or drink? And again, it means, when it means comfortable, is they don't have to adopt an adaptive posture or change behavior to enable the access to the bowl. Discomfort and injury may result if the bowl slips away from the dog along the floor, and the dog's feet slip whilst feeding or drinking, or choose to sit or lie down whilst accessing the bowl. And this can be a sign of discomfort, and the dog may demonstrate difficulty by eating more slowly or more quickly, and the dog may show signs of pain or difficulty in reaching the bowl. And if that's a no, here are your considerations. Raising the food bowl to the height of the dog's shoulder, which is always recommended anyway. I don't know any vet that hasn't recommended that I know, is to have more elevated bowls.
The right head angle too, not too high.
Yeah. Use a shallow bowl. Use that non-slip tape under the food bowl to stop it from moving. And now you can buy bowls that don't move around. I'll give you one example. Sleepy Pod have an incredible bowl that will never move around, and it's great for travel as well. Ensuring that the dog stands on carpet or matting to eat so they are stable and secure, and placing the water bowl on a towel to mop up water spillages and splashes. So again, you don't want them to slip on any water. If your dog uses a doggy flap, doggy door, can they enter and exit without difficulty? And difficulty will be seen through their hesitation and struggle to lift their legs to step over the step or to crouch to get through the flap. Choosing to access the door flap at a faster or slower pace than normal, they may slip, fall on either side of the flap. And if that's a no, you would provide a different entrance-exit strategy, provide a larger, lower, easier dog flap, reduce the height of the step of the flap on either side of the door, and a non-slip mat either side of the flap as well. Are external pathways clear, in good repair and non-slip? Poor repair includes cracked paving stones, uneven surfaces, slippery tiles, mud or gravel, or obstacles on the path. And if that's a no, you would limit access to hazardous areas. You would repair broken or uneven paving slabs, and you would You would be covering damaged pathways in a suitable non-slip level surface, such as grass or artificial grass. That's a good idea. It's a really good idea. We're getting close to the end of this. I can see it's very thorough. Does the dog have easy, non-hazardous access to an area of well-maintained grass for play? And well-maintained means trimmed grass, or a stable surface which provides a low impact and non-slip surface to walk and balance on. And this should be very easy to access and without any kind of hazards or obstacles. And if that's a no, Jim, this is what you would consider. Ensure obstacle-free and easily negotiable areas exist within your garden. Ensure these areas have a predictable surface and keep that grass cut nice and short. Unless it's fake grass, you never have to cut it, which is great.
You have to just get a broom out every
Or a vacuum like you did that time. Can the dog assume a stable posture to urinate and defecate in their chosen toilet zone? Stable posture means they do not demonstrate an adapted posture, a lack of balance, wobbles or trembles on performing the posture, or complete avoidance of a previously displayed posture. And this is what you would do. You would keep nails and the fur on the foot trimmed, ensuring that their preferred toileting area is as level as possible, using boots on hind limbs to improve friction to the ground, or, like we said, toe grips, and use of a harness or sling to support. What was the name of the sling company?
Oh, goodness.
It's a great sling, and I just saw it at the pet convention.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Gosh, it was a well-improved sling. When I find it, I will put these links on Facebook, and of course, I'll be linking this as well, and anything we talk about in the show. A couple more questions. Does your dog display their usual level of confidence and stability when interacting with other dogs within or outside of their home? Level of confidence means they behave with the same engagement and vigor, so no change. Signs of reluctance to play, avoidance of other dogs, cautious interaction, and a complete lack of interaction would suggest a lack of confidence. Stability means without losing balance, stumbling, or falling. And if that's a no, then you would be supervising their interactions. You were using awareness items to ensure other dog owners are aware of your dog's condition, such as labeled bandanas or leads. You know what? I've only ever seen that for dogs that are, you've got obviously working dogs that wear their vests. Then you have rescue dogs that will wear a little bandana that says, "I'm a rescue dog, adopt me." I've also seen some people tie a yellow ribbon to a dog that don't just come up and approach my dog. Basically,
warning.
Yeah, but I think this is a great idea.
Never ask. That's sad that you have to do that.
It's rude.
People just don't get it.
It's rude that people don't ask if they can pet your dog. And there's a way to pet dogs. It's not on the slapping them on the top of the head either. Anyway, let's finish this. We're almost at the end. You would limit play to trusted friends, and maybe look at some alternative activities, because you still want to keep them active, but you don't want them to be to lacking confidence. That's terrible. This is the last question by the looks of it. No, it's not. Can the dog get in and out of the car without additional help and ease? Additional help includes help that the dog had previously not needed. This may be lifting, supporting, or even increased encouragement. With ease means without hesitation, loss of balance, or increased effort or speed. And here are the considerations. Is to lift the dog in and out if it's safe for the owner to do so. Use a portable ramp with a non-slip surface or dog steps, and they're readily available now. Parking near a natural step, such as a raised pavement or embankment, that's a good idea. And car boots without a lip. It's actually lift them up over.
Yeah. I was trying to figure that out because that was the English word you were using for the car parts.
Once in the car, does the dog settle down comfortably? Comfortably means without hesitation, without demonstrating discomfort vocally or physically, without reluctance to lie down, without facial expressions of fear such as repeated lip licking, panting, or rigid postures. I just don't think we can talk enough about body language. It's so important, and you'd be able to pick up on these cues that your dog's in discomfort or lacking in confidence or a bit fearful. I think it's really important. And here are the considerations. Padding out the boot or seat to give cushioning underneath and at the side of the dog. Rear seat hammocks to prevent risk of falling into the footwell. And I'm going to come onto that. Another suggestion. Regular breaks to get in and out and walk when on longer journeys, and I think that's a given. Ensuring comfortable temperatures in the vehicle, and harnesses are encouraged to prevent risk of injury to the dog and owner if involved in a driving-related accident. I'm going to be doing a PSA video on safety of your pets in the car, and I'm going to be showing you the Sleepy Pod products, and they're phenomenal, and they're crash test approved. And I think this falls right into that. And, to just show you the importance of it, and that your pets do need to be secure, and not all harnesses are created equal. So what they said is your answers. What's happening with your answers? So the number questions you ticked with a yes to demonstrate how considered and adapted your dog's environment is. If a question has been ticked with a no, we would encourage you to consider an action required, which is what they suggest underneath. And that's the advice that they're giving, as well as seeking more information from their website. The more no's that are ticked, the greater the likelihood that your dog is at risk of repeated micro-trauma due to slips and falls, which will lead to flares of their condition. So you have to try and prevent that as much as possible. Just as the choice of lifestyle and living conditions of humans can influence the effectiveness of management of our pain and disease progression, so the same applies to canines. Home adaptation is a key area where owners can make a valuable contribution to helping their dog live more comfortably with osteoarthritis. It is important to stress that when adopting the home environment to meet the needs of your dog, care needs to be taken to ensure that hazards are not created for the human occupant. While rugs on floors are helpful for dogs with mobility problems, they are seen as a trip and fall risk for people with mobility issues. Please consider everyone in the home when making these changes. I think it's a great resource. It's a great test to take, and some really good suggestions. Like I said, we talked about the yoga mat in the bath. Again, giving stability and confidence to your pets. I also put a yoga mat in the back of my car. When the dogs are clipped in, they're not slipping around on the actual seats themselves. They're actually on a rubber mat, and that helps tremendously as well. I thought it was really great. That's the Canine Arthritis Management. Again, that website, caninearthritis.co.uk. And they have a hashtag. Their hashtag is, "It's my home too." That's right. And you want your pets to be comfortable and confident in the home and not fearful of steps and sofas, and you want them to still have a full life and no restrictions. I thought that was such a good.
But in our house, it's my home. I'm the one that just visits.
Yeah, that's true. So true. Well, that's why we took those carpets out too. So we didn't have a load of dog hair, and they didn't have to breathe in dander and this and that. It was just wanted a cleaner home for everybody. Although I did have a dream that Mr. Twix, I dreamt that he had Scooby-Doo legs. In the cartoon, Scooby-Doo goes, Scooby-Doo, and the legs go in a
That happens
circle.
when he runs the corner sometimes.
Oh, and I just was dreaming about that last night. It was quite funny. It's quite funny. Well, I think we have come to the end of the show. I will put these links up. I will put these links up for everybody on our social media platforms so that you have access to all this information. And I hope that you had some kind of takeaway from that. I certainly did. We don't have a dog with arthritis, so there are definitely some considerations there that we've not had to experience. But I think it's a great thing. And I think a number one thing as well is their weight management. We all know weight is a terrible factor when it comes to arthritis.
Inflammation.
So, keeping them at a very, very good body weight is really, really important as well. I am going to reach out to the lovely people over at the Canine Arthritis Management organization and see if we can get them on the show, and let's talk about arthritis and how you can manage that and how you can do some things to prevent it as well. So, it's a great article, really great article. And I say a lot more resources. And this resource I pulled straight off their website. So you can head on over there if you have a dog who's got arthritis. Well, Jim,
Remind everybody about the law stuff in India as well. The earlier article.
Yes.
Where they can learn about that.
It's like, come on, people, let's follow suit now.
Don't say any big words. Just give them the...
Well, if you've liked today's show, we would love for you to actually share the show, because you're more than likely listening to it on your smartphone. I think it's something like 87% of people just do everything on their phones now. Very much, more than PC, laptop, blah, blah, blah. So there's always this share button, and we would love it if you would share that for us so we can spread more and more information to help out pets and their pet parents. Now remember, You can always help an animal in need. Either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, share their information, and make your home their home. Rescue your next family member. Replace the word shop with adopt, and always be kind to all animals. Thank you, Jim. That was a quick show. That went so fast.
It did go so fast.
It went so fast, but it was fun.
You used less words because they were bigger words today.
Yeah, I got them crammed in there today. So thank you for listening in, everyone. We hope you have a great week, and we will see you on the next show. And today you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it is all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm your host, Sam. I am the queen of rock and roll dogs, and always kiss your pets good morning and good night. And I'll see you next time.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture. You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Visit Vegas Rock Dog Radio for more information. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And subscribe on iTunes and iHeartRadio. And remember, give your fur babies a big kiss from me, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. You must not rely on the information in this broadcast from our hosts as an alternative to medical advice from your veterinarian. If you have any specific questions about a medical matter regarding your pets, you should consult your veterinarian or specialist.